Hello, and welcome to our semi-regular feature video discussion thingy, where we at All Geeks to Me decide to pick a topic that's topical this week, or month, or I don't know, and chat about it and see what we think and how we think the future will be for it. This week and last week, we finally started seeing the first inklings of what the adaptation of John Green's Paper Towns is going to look like on the big screen. And since both of us are John Green fans, or at least I definitely am, I'm pretty sure Kate is too, we decided to chat about it this week. So last week they premiered the first look at the poster. I think that's where we're going to start. And then we'll get to the trailer, which came out yesterday. So first blush on the poster.
Do you want to start or should I start?
You can start. I have less than happy things to say.
Yeah, it wasn't that the poster was awful or anything. When you're comparing it to what perfection the Fault in Our Stars poster was, it's quite difficult for me to match it. But yeah, it's complete, and then in the same breath, they're completely different stories. So I don't know why. I know that everyone is comparing it to Fault in the Stars, but we really shouldn't. And I think we should start getting out of that mindset.
I agree that you can't necessarily compare the two stories, the two books, the two even they're very tonally different. They're very different stories. But hold on, I'm going to see if I can share a look at the poster. I have not done this before.
You can. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I got this. Okay, so this is what the poster looks like. Hold on. Present to everyone. Okay, so this is what the poster looks like.
Yeah.
Assuming you can see this. So, while I don't, like I said, I don't necessarily hate it, but I don't think it gets... It gets the story.
It doesn't do anything. It's two relatively attractive teenagers on a poster.
Yeah.
With the Fault in Our Stars poster, we saw her oxygen. We saw, there seemed to be some, love between the two of them. And even though I loved the tagline for Fault in Our Stars, and I know it caused a little bit of controversy when it first came out, this tagline kind of sucks.
I don't hate the tagline. The tagline and the logo is probably my favorite part of the poster. The poster's confusing for me because, where I kind of get where they were going with it, where, she's sort of eclipsing him.
Yeah.
And obviously she's this unattainable thing, and I was iffy at the beginning, but I'm really glad they got someone like Cara Delevingne to be Margot because she's just ridiculously beautiful.
She's ridiculously beautiful, and I can never think of anyone else being Margot now. It's just
at this point, yeah.
The end.
Yeah, and so I understand where they were going with the poster, but I just don't think it necessarily captures the whole idea of the story. There have been fan posters that have been much better, honestly. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up one. See if I can do this again. It's high-tech stuff, guys. Alright, so this is a fan poster that I really love, and I wish they could have done something with. Because I just think that is very much more the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I'm actually showing this to everybody. Okay, presenting my screenshot to everybody. Okay, so I love this fan poster. This was made by just some person who saw the casting and decided they wanted to make a poster. I think this is way more in line with the tone of the movie because one of the things that Paper Towns has always been for me, it was a mystery story. It's all about Hugh having this one ridiculously awesome night with the girl of his dreams, and then she disappears, and the entire plot of the story is, where's Margot?
Yeah.
And that's just something that I don't think this gets, and it also gets the tagline better.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm reading this, and I'm like, that tagline is so much better than "Get Lost, Get Found." 4 words, it pretty much explains the whole entire movie, but that just is a little bit, there's mystery to it, but it's more alluring to me, and that's what this novel was for me. It was alluring. It's
Yeah,
like,
and well,
with
this line, "The town was paper, but the memories were not," is actually from the book.
yeah.
And this also like pulls imagery from the book and the movie. The two of them as kids in the background there with the dead guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the first scene of the book.
Yeah.
And I assume it's going to be included in the movie, but I don't know for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But so there were just so many things that I didn't like about the poster. I thought that they could have done a lot better with it to like incorporate more of the really interesting imagery from the book, because that's what the book is full of. It's full of really interesting imagery and cool stuff. They could have done something with the blue painter's tape. They didn't do anything with that. It's just not mysterious. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fun. It gets the point across, but it's nothing spectacular. Like, I would have even liked, I know you like the logo and I don't mind the logo, but I would have liked if they, how Margot writes in one word would be capitalized and the other would be lowercase. Like, that would have been cool if they did that with the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Just like little tie-ins for like us hardcore freaking fans to be like, oh my god, like to completely freak out about. So I don't know, but the cool thing is they did it with Fault in Our Stars, and is it the same production company?
I don't know I think it's the same production company. It's Fox. It's 20th Century Fox.
Okay.
It's also the same. It's the same production people. Same everybody.
Is it Searchlight? Because I know Fault in Our Stars was more indie.
I don't think it's Searchlight. I think it's just 20th Century Fox.
Anyway, but the cool thing about what they did with Fault in Our Stars was that they really did incorporate a lot of the fan art within the promo of the movie.
Yes.
Like the box, the DVD box ended up being a fan. You got to vote on a fan poster. So hopefully we'll see more of that within 4 Paper Towns. Because
hopefully, yeah.
A lot of fan art.
And that's sort of a thing that, like, they're playing to his fan base, and he has a really rabid fan base of more than 26-year-old girls, of teenagers and people that are just ridiculously creative, and like that poster is seriously, it's awesome. I want a printout. It's gorgeous. But so I hope they do something with that in the future, either with like another poster or with the DVD art. Yeah. Or whatever, because I don't like this poster. I did like the trailer.
Yes, I also liked the trailer.
Yes, the trailer came out yesterday. He premiered it, John Green premiered it on the Today Show, and then it's online. You can see it on allgeek2me.net. I'll put the link. And I liked it. It looks like it's staying very true to the book. It includes my favorite scene of the entire book, which is the Great White Wall of Cow. It's really all I wanted was the Great White Wall of Cow.
There you go. Trisha's good.
It's the best line in the entire book, okay? It is. A Great White Wall of Cow.
Yeah.
Yes. So it looks like they're doing a good job. Like, once again, like, they did a really good job with the adaptation of The Fault in Our Stars. It was ridiculously true to the book, but it still made the necessary changes that it needed to.
Yeah.
And I think it so far looks like that's what they're doing with Paper Towns, which is good because this is one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
If they screw it up, I'm going to have trouble.
I really enjoyed this book. I think for me personally, it's kind of everything when I was reading the book, how I pictured it is what the trailer showed, like the abandoned building, his house, her house, all that kind of stuff. I am worried a little bit, though, that people that haven't read the book are going to think it's kind of like this, coming-of-age rom-com, where really I hope they focus a little bit more on the mysterious element of the whole entire situation versus the, oh, he's in love with her and she making clues for him kind of thing. Because really, if you read the book, it's not really like that. Like, he's in love with her, but she's not what I'm getting from the trailer.
Yeah, and that's also one of the things that you don't realize until later in the book. One of the things, actually, so a friend of mine posted on Facebook about it, and I know that other people are going to have the same issue, and people had that issue with Paper Towns and with some of his other books, is the thought that he's promoting or furthering the idea of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, which is actually, and yes, I'm taking this from him, and yeah, it's maybe it's wrong, maybe he's just pontificating, but the idea behind Paper Towns was to combat the idea of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, that Q holds Margot up as this, amazing, awesome person. In reality, she's kind of broken.
Yeah.
Which I liked about the book. Like, it was the idea of imagining others complexly, as he puts it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I think, when you first meet Q, he has a very shallow he sees Margot very shallowly, and then throughout the journey, where she's not even present for, he learns so much more about her.
Yeah.
But there's not necessarily a happily ever after in every story, and I think I'm hoping that they keep true to that, and they don't try to tie it up in a pretty YA bow and make everyone happy.
I agree. I thought they did a good thing with that, with The Fault in Our Stars. Like, it was a sufficient ending. It wasn't necessarily a happy ending.
Yeah.
It was an ending. It was a good ending. But I mean, going into that book and / movie, you kind of knew that wasn't going to end very happily.
Yeah, you figured.
Kids with cancer, someone's going to die.
But it twisted you, I think, or at least for me, when you're reading Fault in Our Stars and watching it, you're kind of thinking, oh, it's going to be Hazel, and then they do that swap, and it's actually, the most perfect human being, teenage boy ever to exist.
Yeah, and but Paper Towns, I think, is one of his better books because of the way that it sort of challenges that stereotype of falling in love with the girl next door, not really knowing anything about her, just falling in love with the idea of a person, and then finding out that you're wrong. So it is a coming-of-age story, but it's a coming-of-age story for Q.
Yeah, it's not for her. I think people are going to think it's it's really about him.
Yeah, it's entirely about him and changing the way he sees himself and sees her, mostly by changing the way he sees her and sees the world, sort of. I really like it. It's a really interesting thing. From what I got from all of, like, the production stuff early on, seems like they're including a lot of the more interesting stuff from the book, like Radar's family with their 1,200 Black Santas.
That's good. I hope that's in there.
It's a house full of Black Santas, and I think that's awesome. And a lot of other stuff. I have to reread the book before the movie comes out because I haven't read it in a few years.
I read it last summer, so.
I read it. Well, I got it when it came out, like the day it came out. I bought it. And there's actually probably a video of me on the internet still doing the Paper Towns challenge from 2008.
There you go.
Yeah, where you get the book, you read it, and then you post a video of yourself going to a bookstore and putting Nerdfighter notes in copies of his books. I did that, and then they made a soundtrack essentially to the book.
Okay.
So they gave you a free download if you did that.
Oh, nice, Tricia.
So I did that. I was dumb and I was 19, so what can you do?
You got a free album.
I did get a free album, and it was fun. And every time I think about Paper Towns, I keep getting that one song stuck in my head.
There you go.
Yeah,
So,
there you go.
The kids that are casting, I guess, do you want to talk about casting a little bit?
We can.
The kids that have been cast in this film actually look like teenagers.
They do! I love it!
And I'm, like, really happy about it.
Me too.
And I'm like, okay, I can believe this.
Yeah, they were pushing it with Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah. They were getting a little old looking, but
not terrible. And no, this time around, it's actually, for the most part, teenagers.
Yeah, I believe they all are still technically teenagers.
Yeah, I think Nat Wolff is the oldest, and he's probably like 19, maybe 20.
Yeah. And is he from Nickelodeon? Was he like
yes, he was in the Naked Brothers band.
Okay. I wasn't.
He was one half of the Naked Brothers.
I was like, that kid looks kind of familiar. Like, I was a little older to be, like, watching the Naked Brothers band.
I definitely never watched it, but
I don't think I've ever seen it, but.
No, I like other movies that he's been in, so I've Googled him before, and it's like, oh, the Naked Brothers band, and I'm like, oh, right, that was a thing once.
Just making sure I wasn't like, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's like Disney or Nickelodeon, like pop star-y kind of thing.
Yeah, he and his brother have a band, and they're actually pretty good.
Okay. Well, now
Not
that
they don't play naked.
oh,
Yeah, but
that would have been weird. That would have been a weird thing to see on Nickelodeon.
a little bit, yeah. Yeah, they're Nat and Alex is their band.
Oh, okay.
So things
Um,
that I know from Google.
I'm also kind of wondering because we don't see it in the trailer if they break into SeaWorld.
They don't. They said they're leaving the SeaWorld part out
Oh, that's a little bit of a shame.
because of all of the controversy.
That's true. SeaWorld could have used it
Yeah, they could have used the publicity. Although they break into SeaWorld in order to
to
throw
free. Don't they
fish
free
and they free something. I don't remember.
something? Yeah. I don't support SeaWorld, so F you, SeaWorld.
No, but everything else it looks like they're keeping. I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to the Vaseline line. Lines from this book stuck in my brain. Weird ones. Like, talking about how he has to go buy the Vaseline, and there's a little baby Vaseline, and there's a mommy Vaseline, and then there's a big honkin' daddy battle Vaseline, and he wants
Yeah.
that one. Those are the weird things that stick in your brain.
And I can also already tell from just the trailer that this is also going to be a great soundtrack.
Mm.
Because Fault in Our Stars had an awesome soundtrack, and
Yeah,
I
it
just
did.
have a feeling that Paper Towns is going to continue and it's going to have another amazing soundtrack.
I hope it does. I like road trip movies and mysteries, and this book, now hopefully movie, is like all of my favorite things rolled into one.
Yes.
So yay! So hopefully it's good. I like that we're getting more of this sort of standalone, normal YA adaptation now. Granted, it's all John Green books. We're going to be getting Looking for Alaska at some point. I wonder if they're ever going to do An Abundance of Catherines.
I don't know, but I just took a BuzzFeed quiz last night of who was my John Green soulmate, and I got Colin. So.
You got Colin? I didn't take it, so I don't know.
And my name's Kate, so it's kind of creepy.
Although isn't the girl in that book Lindsay?
The one that he eventually.
Yeah.
I haven't read all of it yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Abundance of Catherines is a weirder one, so
Yeah.
I don't know. My guess is the next one we see is going to be Will Grayson, if we see one.
I thought he was doing a screenplay just in general. Like, I thought he was doing something that wasn't one of his books being adapted, that he was doing something that was just going right to film. Or am I assuming that wrong? I thought I saw something.
I don't know. I haven't seen that, but I may have just missed it.
Okay.
We'll have to do some looking. He's tried to adapt his own books before, and it did not go well.
I thought someone commissioned him just to do a screenplay, but it could be someone else. I thought that was what was going on, but I'm not sure.
So my brain's not working.
Are you Googling it?
Yeah. I don't see anything about that.
Okay, then I might have just, I might have dreamed it. I don't know. It's
Maybe you dreamed it. They are doing Looking for Alaska, which should be actually pretty good for a movie adaptation. Like, all of his books are very filmic. There's a lot of visual. It's a simple enough story that you could adapt it well. If they go another one further, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being Will Grayson, which is an interesting book, and I think it would be really fun to do it the way they wrote it, where you have two different directors, but that's just my idea. But I'm hoping that this means more good YA, like normal people YA, as opposed to dystopian fiction, or Ransom Riggs, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is getting adapted, and that's probably going to be a great movie. It's being adapted by Tim Burton, so maybe. It's hit or miss, but it's still in that realm of like YA fantasy and sci-fi, which is great. But some variety would be nice.
Yeah, and did Eleanor and Park get a deal?
I think it did.
I think I don't know if there's anything past that, but I'm pretty sure someone bought the rights. I don't know if anything's happened past that point.
Yeah, I think Eleanor and Park has been optioned. That'll be interesting to see how they do that screenplay, that movie, if they end up doing it. Great book. I don't know how well it'll adapt to screen.
Yeah, it's a good book. I don't know if it's something that you could sit for 90 minutes and watch.
I don't know either.
If you could, you might rather just read it.
Yeah. Well, the whole, and I don't want to give anything away, but the whole last, like, act, what would be act three of the movie, a lot of that turning point happens in her head.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you could come to the same realization on screen too. It would just require a certain touch, and if they can manage to do it without destroying the book, that'd be great because the book is great.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of other books that I would want adapted that are like normal books, but I don't read a lot of them, so.
Yeah, well, there's not really that much out there in
Very
terms of
true.
like YA, but I think we're seeing kind of a shift. I think once the whole Divergent series is over, I think maybe there might be a little bit of a break from the
Yeah.
YA fantasy and going into more of a realistic, and it's not even, I would even say that the genre isn't YA necessarily, more coming of age story,
Hmm.
in kind of a John Hughes Breakfast Club, 16 Candles kind of way. Like that
Yeah,
wouldn't be,
I think we need like this generation's teen movie
yeah.
that doesn't suck.
Hmm.
Because for the most part, they've sucked.
Yeah, like, well, or they're, the Hunger Games and Divergent. That's not a teen movie. Like we're 26 years old, so we have, we grew up with 10 Things I Hate About You and She's All That and that kind of stuff. And those were teen movies.
Yeah.
Sure, they were unrealistic most of the time, but they were still teen movies. These, the John Green books are a little bit more realistic, but like with a little sparkle to them.
Yeah. Well, we just had the Duff that came out. That was surprisingly good considering its
Mhm.
comparisons to She's All That. So hopefully we get a lot more of that kind of movie. Like teen problems not set in a dystopian future.
Yeah. Like, where's this generation's Mean Girls?
Seriously, we need a good Mean Girls
Yeah.
that isn't the Duff because
Yeah.
that
But,
movie is like it's so She's All That in the same way that She's All That dated itself immediately with just the title being She's All That.
or just, just everything in general in that movie,
Everything in that movie.
it was very trendy and on like the real world comparison. No,
Real world comparison, saying all that, saying,
yeah.
oh my god, so many slang words that we
Or
don't
even like
use.
we needed like, if you can't do Mean Girls, then like where's the new Clueless? Like Clueless was completely not realistic, but it was still funny.
Yes. And an adaptation of Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're definitely due for something more like that. Something that,
Mhm.
kids will look back on and be like, oh, remember when? And not like, remember when we were all worried about that dystopian future.
Yeah. Remember 20 years ago Hunger Games came out. Now it's our life.
Oh,
Oh.
God, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully we'll get one of those pretty soon. I mean, Mean Girls turned 10, so I think we're
Yeah, I think we're due. And I think Clueless was what, 20 last year, maybe?
something like that. And
Uh,
uh and Breakfast Club is 30 this year.
yeah, last
So we're
month.
due. We need a new one
We
right
need to
now.
do something, yeah. Nothing's like, for me, there's nothing that has compared to Mean Girls since that. There's nothing that I'm like, in the past 10 years where you would celebrate it coming out.
Yeah, there's nothing like that yet.
So,
We'll
I
see.
mean, no one's going to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Twilight.
Someone is. Some really hardcore Twihards
Hmm.
are gonna celebrate it.
Yeah, like the old ladies that went with the
The,
Team
the,
Jacob.
the Twi moms, is that what they were?
I don't know, they were weird.
They were weird. I don't like getting into something that your kids are into, okay, but having like scary crushes on teenagers.
No, because like those moms were going without kids. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't, I was seeing like grown women going without like their teenage daughters. So I don't know.
Stop with the inappropriateness. Yeah, so I guess we'll see, and I hope that this helps to shepherd that in. I don't think these movies are going to be that. I think they'll be looked at, fondly in the future,
Hmm.
but I don't think they last quite the same as like a good comedy,
Yeah.
teen comedy. So we'll see. And that is our thoughts on Paper Towns poster and trailer. You can watch the trailer and check out the poster at allgeektome.net. Kate, did you have any other things you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
I
Yeah.
think we pretty well covered it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, thank you guys for joining us for this episode of Let's Talk. We'll be back at some point in the future. If there is a particular thing that you would like us to talk about, you can always mention it in comments or tweet it to us. I'm at Tricia Ennis. She is at Kait Calabro. You can also tweet it to at allgeek2me.net. And we might talk about it if we have an opinion, which we probably will because we're us.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.